Good news, bad news, but the bad news first. So 2 weeks ago, a catastrophic flood hit Kerr County, Texas. As of July 17th, 134 people have been confirmed dead, with still about 130 missing, making this one of the deadliest natural disasters in Texas history. Here's where things get a little dicey. Governor Greg Abbott declared a state of disaster that afternoon and deployed the Texas National Guard to assist with rescue and recovery. Federal responses have drawn sharp criticism. President Donald Trump waited until July 6th to sign a federal disaster declaration, following intense pressure from Texas officials and the public. The delay has been linked to the early DOGE cuts to the budget, which significantly reduced FEMA's resources and the weather monitoring capabilities. It's important for you to know who the Secretary of Homeland Security is, Kristi Noem, appointed by Donald Trump. She's being criticized because she did not authorize FEMA's deployment of urban search and rescue teams until Monday, more than 72 hours after the flooding began. Add on the top of the fact that the FEMA call centers have been reduced in representatives at the phones due to these budget cuts, leaving a lot of people who are calling for help without anybody to answer. Okay, so here's where things start to get a little bit messy. So the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is calling a special session. For those of you who don't follow how laws in Texas are made, the Texas State Legislature only comes together every 2 years on the odd year, like this year, 2025. And they start the session in January, which lasts only 140 days, in order for them to pass and sign the laws that they vote for. So when the Texas Legislature is not in session and they need to pass some type of emergency or important bill that they need to address, the governor calls a special session. Which, by the way, this last session that they just had, the first bill that Abbott signed into law was one that creates Texas's own DOGE. So more cuts to the budget. But now that the flood happened, Abbott is calling a special session so he could address flood mitigation, preparedness, and warning systems and all that good stuff. But hold the phone. Or should I say, on the phone is Donald Trump telling Texas Republicans to use this special session to redraw the maps in order to eliminate Democrats out of Congress. Now, this is a whole other situation going on because every 10 years, every state goes back to the drawing board and addresses their congressional maps, their state maps. They start drawing these weird shaped maps in order to split up the population in these awkward different places in order for them to just have the majority. Here's some examples of how weird these gerrymandered maps look like. So Trump is telling Texas Republicans to use this opportunity to redraw the maps in order to take away seats from Democrats, both at the national level and at the state level. So as a response to this latest attack on representation, you have representatives like Jasmine Crockett and Al Green getting together with other Texas Democrats to sound the alarm about this attempt to take over Democrat seats by Republicans. Over in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is calling this one out as well, but also saying two can play that game. We're going to have a special session. We're going to vote on a new map. We're going to take seats from Republicans, creating a whole new chapter in this slow burning civil war between Democrats and Republicans, leaving us all with the duty to pay attention to what's going on and make sure that they do not pass this without a fight. I'm no fan of the Democrats, but Republicans right now are out of control. I just think it's kind of crazy how on July 4th, later on that day, and Donald Trump is signing that big, beautiful bill, which reinforces a lot of these cuts. It's the same day that you have this tragedy unfolding in Texas. So, the topic of the day is budget cuts creates chaos, and now we are experiencing it in more ways than one. I mean, you remember the planes falling down from the sky? Yeah. Okay, so with that said, that's the bad news for today. I don't know. Good news. I don't know. Oh, Amaya Papaya won Love Island, so, it's just lesson of kindness. Maybe kind, then good things happen to you. Also, while we're on the subject of kindness, Superman is controversial because he's kind and apparently an immigrant and also apparently anti-genocide. So, yeah, be kind.